Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy, and I'm going to do a quick little fawning adulatory walk around of this most excellent 2015 Mustang with its newly sexed up body, which I'll give you a chance here to look at from a variety of angles. I think this is one of the nicest looking Mustangs that Ford has ever designed, and that includes the classic era Mustangs. It's not as huge and bulbous and, frankly, in my opinion, cartoonish as the Camaro, and I say that as a Camaro guy. I've owned 4 older generation Camaros. I still have a Trans Am from the 70s. Love it. Just not a big fan of the new one. This car, its proportions are just spot on. To my eye, this is a great looking car. It's also a really interesting car. Ford has, for the first time in a long time, put a 4-cylinder in the Mustang. Neither the Challenger nor the Camaro currently offer a 4-cylinder. They have their base V6s, and their upgrade engine is a V8. In the Mustang, the base engine is still a V6, but the upgrade engine is the new 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4, and it puts out more power than the base V6. Not quite as much power as the V8, of course, but 310 horsepower is pretty solid out of a 2.3-liter 4-cylinder engine. In fact, to give you some sense of scale and perspective, way back in the 90s when I first started doing car reviews, Ford let me borrow a 95 Cobra R for a week, and of course you Mustang people will be familiar with that, but for those who are not, the Cobra R was a competition model that Ford built in very limited numbers. It had the very last of the 351s, 5.8-liter V8, and that V8 made 300 horsepower. This V6, half the size, makes more horsepower, and it gets more than 30 miles per gallon on the highway, which I assure you a Cobra R could not do unless it was on the back of a flatbed truck. Love the car, but it was performance, not economy. This is performance and economy. Something else that's kind of neat about the Mustang relative to its other competitor, the Challenger, is that you can get this Turbo 4 with the manual transmission, 6-speed or 6-speed automatic, which has a cool track mode, which has almost tire barking gear changes in it, and also will turn off the traction control and let you really smoke the tires if you want to. Whereas in the Challenger, if you want a manual transmission, you have to upgrade to the V8. The base V6 only comes with their 8-speed automatic. Now, the Camaro's got more power from its V6 than this car has, but the Camaro is also bigger and a lot heavier, so this car performs better, and it gets better gas mileage too, so that's pretty cool. I'm also a real big fan of the way they've laid out the interior, and let me show you a few detail items. Get in here. I particularly like these toggle switches. Let me turn the car on and show you some stuff. Here is the, let me close the door, because it'll go boo-doo. Anyway, this button is the selectable mode for the various drivetrain settings for the transmission and also for throttle tip-in. So you can scroll through here. You'll see that's normal. Then they have a sport, and then the favorite mode is track with a little helmet, and that you'll see automatically turns off the traction control. And if you really want to have some fun, then you want to hit this button here, pull that up, turn off the traction control, and wait for it. And now you're ready to do a smoky burnout, which I won't do, but you can. And let me tell you, this thing will do a smoky burnout, despite being 2.3 liters. Torque output of the 4-cylinder engine here is very close to what you get in a V8. Not peaky, and it's available all the time, and the part throttle roll-on of this car is superb. You touch the gas, this nice big broad hood just kind of seems to lift up as you go, just like an old muscle car. It feels and drives very much like a V8 muscle car, but it also gets 34 on the highway, which is phenomenal. The only things that I can find to complain about, and these are really trivial, I'm not a big fan. This is Ford's, they call this My Touch interface. You can see, for example, here's the button for climate, this is for the audio system, and here's the nav, and here's home, and here's settings. These are really small, and while I'm parked here, it's not that tough to touch one. Touch that and it'll go to home. Let me get it to do something else. It goes to settings. But if you're moving, you know, the car's going to be vibrating along, and you don't have any sense of tactile feel here, so it's easy to hit the wrong thing. And if you're on the radio, you've got all these little buttons. And again, your hand is kind of moving, and it's sometimes you'll find that you'll hit a different button than the one that you wanted. So I'm not a huge big fan of that. I do really like this. I like these scrollable things here for the temperature. Push that down to make it cooler, push that up to make it hotter. Very sensible. You can do it while you're driving. Again, I love the toggle shifters. That's just very tactile. In addition to looking cool, it's very functional. Just throw the switch, boom, it does what you want. The other thing to complain about, I'll see if I can pan. Here's the center console. And you'll see here is your center console storage area. Now, here's my arm, and you'll see that here's this catch, and it's really, really difficult to open it, which opens to the back. So imagine you're doing this while you're driving, trying to open that up, and then trying to reach in here, and here's your slot for your iPad, here's your 12-volt PowerPoint. Anyway, it's really difficult to access this while the car is moving. You have to rotate your body around, try and reach in here, and it's pretty difficult. Small gripe. Ford does include another PowerPoint up here, which is helpful. There's my V1 radar detector, my best little buddy. And really, that's about the only thing that I can think about, or will tell you that I could find to complain about this car. I'm impressed. It's not often that there is a new car that I would really seriously consider personally wanting to buy. This is one of them. I dig this car. And I dig the 4-cylinder version. I normally would be inclined toward the V8. Again, I'm a muscle car guy. I've got a Trans Am in the garage with a big 455 V8. I love torque. I love horsepower. But this thing does the job. Less expensive by about $6,000 to buy than the V8 GT, and almost certainly will cost you less to insure, which is another big thing, because it's, after all, the 4-cylinder version of the Mustang. And at least for the moment, the insurance Nazis probably haven't figured out that this thing packs a hell of a punch too. Anyway, the full rant is available now up at epautos.com. I hope you'll stop by, take a look, leave your comments, pro or con, and we will catch up with you in a week or so when I do this Cadillac CTS. Catch you.